Hello and welcome to the class. Today we will cover terms used in reliability-centered maintenance. Knowing these terms will help you pass a RCM certification exam. So let's get started with our first term. Maintenance cost as a percent of replacement asset value, RAV. Defined as the annual expenditures to maintain assets, divided by their replacement asset value, RAV, and is expressed as a percentage. Availability. Availability is the probability that an asset is capable of performing its intended function satisfactorily, when needed, in a stated environment. Failure modes and effects analysis. FMEA. FMEA is a technique to examine an asset, process, or design to determine the points of potential failure and the potential effects of failure, identifies mitigation tasks, for highest priority risks. Maintenance and reliability best practices. These are maintenance and reliability practices, which have been demonstrated by organizations, who are leaders in their industry. Mean time between failures. MTBF. Mean time between failures is the average length of time between one failure and another failure for an asset or component. Mean time to repair, MTTR. Mean time to repair is the average time needed to restore an asset to its full operational capabilities after a failure, and is a measure of asset maintainability. Maintenance, repair and operating inventory value as a percent of replacement asset value, RAV. The value of maintenance, repair, and operating materials and spare parts in stock to support divided by the replacement asset value, expressed as a percentage. MRO stores inventory turns. Inventory turns identify how quickly specific types of inventory are flowing through the inventory system. Percent planned work. The amount of planned maintenance work that was completed versus the total maintenance hours available. Proactive work. The sum of all maintenance work that is completed to avoid failures or to identify defects that could lead to failures, failure finding. It includes routine preventive and predictive maintenance activities and work tasks identified from them. Reliability. The probability that an item will perform its intended function for a specific interval under stated conditions. Asset. The physical resources of an organization, such as equipment, machines, mobile fleet, systems, or their parts and components, including software that performs a specific function or provide a service. Sometimes referred to as physical assets. Component. A configured item within the hierarchy of an asset for which there is a maintenance management need to track cost, installed location, service history, manufacturer model/serial number, warranty, and purchase/inventory data. A configured item may be either a permanent or temporary part of an asset. Examples of components include electric motors, valves, gearboxes, pumps, and switch gears. Failure mode and effects analysis, FMEA. A technique to examine an asset, process, or design to determine potential ways it can fail and the potential effects, and subsequently identify appropriate mitigation tasks for highest priority risks. Maintenance backlog. Maintenance tasks that are essential to repair or prevent equipment failures that have not been completed yet. Capital project maintenance, CPM. Major repairs, for example. Overhauls and turnaround projects, valued over a certain threshold, are sometimes treated as capital projects for tax purposes. If these projects are essential to restoring the asset back to the design capacity, not to add additional capabilities, they should be treated as maintenance costs. Condition-based maintenance, CBM. Maintenance tasks that are required based on the health of an asset as determined from non-invasive measurements of operation used for monitoring equipment conditions. Corrective maintenance, CM. Repair actions initiated as a result of observed or measured conditions of an asset after or before the functional failure. Predictive maintenance, PDM, an equipment maintenance strategy based on measuring the condition of equipment in order to assess whether it will fail during some future period, and then taking appropriate action to avoid the consequences of that failure. The condition of equipment could be measured using condition monitoring, statistical process control, or equipment performance, or through the use of the human senses. Preventative maintenance strategy. Uses inspection, component replacement, and overhauling at fixed intervals, regardless of its condition. Scheduled inspections are performed to assess the condition of assets. replacing the components such as filters, belts and lubrication and are a few examples of PM tasks. Reactive maintenance, RM. Maintenance activity carried out to fix an asset, in response to failure or breakdown. When it is performed in emergency mode, it may cost 3 to 5 times more. Operator-based maintenance, OBM. OBM involves operators performing some basic maintenance activities. Operator-based maintenance is a cost-effective practice to perform minor routine and recurring maintenance tasks by the operators to keep the asset working efficiently for its intended purpose. Run-to-failure maintenance. A management strategy that permits a specific failure mode to occur without any attempts to prevent it. A deliberate decision based on economical effectiveness. Proactive maintenance work. This is a complete list of all maintenance tasks that are completed to avoid failures or to identify defects that could lead to imminent failures. Usually the list includes routine preventive and condition/predictive maintenance tasks that are carried out in a planned and scheduled manner. Reliability-centered maintenance, RCM. A systematic, disciplined process for establishing the appropriate maintenance strategies for an asset in its operating context, to ensure safety, mission compliance, and system function. The process defines system boundaries and identifies functions, functional failures, and likely failure modes. It develops a logical identification of the causes and effects, consequences, of system and functional failures to arrive at an efficient and effective asset management strategy for reducing the probability of failure. Bill of material, BOM, a list of materials needed to accomplish a particular assembly or fabrication job. The BOM can also be a listing of items necessary to support the operations and maintenance of an asset or component. It contains primarily consumable items and replacement components that may be inventoried as a spare. Oil filters, drive belts, and ball bearings are examples. Computerized Maintenance Management System, CMMS, and Enterprise Asset Management EAM are software systems that keep records of all maintenance activities, for example, maintenance work orders, PM schedules, PM masters, material parts, work plans, asset history. Role of a coordinator. Oversees the execution of daily operations, including maintenance. They are accountable to the asset, or process owner, for ensuring the asset, or process, is available to perform in a safe and efficient manner. Coordinators also help prioritize the work, according to the operational needs. Planned work schedule compliance. The number of planned work orders, and man-hours, completed from the daily and weekly schedule divided by the total number of work orders, and man-hours on the schedule. Role of a planner. Develops a work plan to repair or perform a CM or PM for the asset. This plan includes what and how the work will be performed, work description, task sequence, material and tools required, work crew skills, lockout, tag out, safety requirements, etc. Planning. The process of determining the resources and method needed to perform maintenance work efficiently and effectively. Planning is different from scheduling. In short, planning defines what and how, whereas scheduling defines who and when. Preventive maintenance schedule compliance. The number of PM including PDM/CBM work orders completed from the daily/weekly schedule divided by the total number of PM work orders scheduled. Scheduled work. The work that has been identified in advance and is logged in a schedule so that it may be accomplished in a timely manner based upon its criticality. Schedule compliance. The number of scheduled jobs actually accomplished during the period covered by an approved schedule. Also, the number of scheduled labor hours, expressed as a percentage. Schedulers. Establish daily, weekly, monthly, and rolling yearly maintenance work schedule of executable work in their area. The schedule includes who will perform and when the work will be performed. The schedule is developed in concert with the maintenance craft supervisor and operations. Scheduling. The process of determining which jobs get worked on, when and by whom, based on the priority, the resources, and asset availability. The scheduling process should take place before the job is executed. In short, scheduling defines when and who execute the work tasks. Turnaround. Turnaround is a planned shutdown of an asset, process, or total plant. The purpose of the shutdown is to identify and repair major problems in a timely manner for the purpose of improving plant safety and efficiency. Work order. Work order is paper or electronic document specifying the work needed on an asset. A unique control document that comprehensively describes the job to be done. It may include a formal requisition for maintenance, authorization, and charge codes, as well as what actually is to be done. Work order parts kitting. Work order parts kitting is a collection and staging of parts required for each individual work order. This step usually is accomplished in a plant storeroom, within the maintenance shop. Each kit is identified by a number, or label, so that it can be staged, or delivered to the right maintenance crew. Work plan. Work plan is sometimes called job package. The work plan is prepared by the planner, and includes identification of work to be accomplished, the sequence of work, skills required, special tools, parts needed, and special work instructions needed. Inventory turnover ratio. Inventory turnover ratio tells how often an inventory turns over during the course of the year. Because inventories are the least liquid form of asset, a high inventory turnover ratio is generally positive. However, in the case of maintenance, repair, and operations inventory, the inventory turnover ratio is usually low, less than 2. Just-in-time inventory. JIT. Inventory is a method of inventory management in which small shipments of stock are delivered as soon as they are needed. JIT minimizes stocking levels. MRO. MRO stands for maintenance, repair, and operations. Sometime O is referred to as overhaul. MRO store. Maintenance, repair, and operations store. It stocks all the material and spare parts required to support maintenance and operations. Service stock. Commonly used parts and maintenance supplies kept nearby in high maintenance areas or outside the storeroom. Withdrawal of this stock requires no requisition or paperwork. Sometimes referred to as dime store. Spare parts. Replacement items found on the CMMS bill of material may or may not be kept in inventory to prevent excessive downtime in case of a breakdown. Stock keeping unit, SKU. An inventory management term for individual stock items carried in inventory, with assigned inventory numbers. Emergency spares/parts replacement parts required for critical assets and equipment that are kept in reserve in anticipation of outages caused by man-made or natural disasters. The demand for these parts is unpredictable. Usually their cost is high and they have long lead times to procure. Not having. 5S. 5S is a structured program to achieve organization-wide cleanliness and standardization in the workplace. A well-organized workplace results in a safer, more efficient, and productive operation. It consists of 5 elements: sort, set in order, shine, standardize, and sustain. Availability. Availability is defined as the percentage of the time that an asset is actually operating compared to how long it is scheduled to operate. Operator-driven reliability, or ODR, involves an equipment operator improving reliability of an asset by identifying potential equipment problems and failures early. The operator fixes them, if minor, and gets them repaired if major, with the help of maintenance in a planned manner. ODR is also called operator-based reliability or operator-based maintenance. Overall equipment effectiveness, OEE. OEE is a metric for measuring how well an asset or process is operating. It evaluates 3 process factors: availability, performance, and quality. E is calculated by multiplying these 3 factors and then expressed as a percentage. The objective of E is to identify sources of loss, waste, and inefficiencies that reduce availability, performance, and product quality. Corrective actions can then be taken to improve the process. This concluded this class on reliability-centered maintenance terms.